Will Brad Marchand win his second Stanley Cup championship, one of the only players of that era to do so? We'll find out tonight. We'll be on postgame till midnight tonight if it doesn't go into overtime. So feel free to call in at 617-779-0985. I got a couple of things I wanted to get to, a couple of takes, and then anything you guys want to get into as well. We're on YouTube, so if our YouTube fan gets in there, you can join us. Just go to youtube.com and then subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub, and you can chat in. A bunch of people have already gotten in there, so let's get it going tonight. I wanted to start Red Sox and the opening take presented by Super Service Today, Massachusetts' #1 provider for residential and commercial plumbing, heating, cooling, and drain cleaning. Day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I was wondering what would happen to the Red Sox last night and how they would respond after the Rafael Devers trade. And considering it was entering a 9-game West Coast road trip, winning 5 in a row, sweeping the New York Yankees, I was curious how they would come out. Would they show emotion? Would they come out flat? Just to bring it back to another sport, when Luka Doncic got traded, Dallas got smoked. But in their next game with Anthony Davis, they beat the Boston Celtics. So I was kind of curious how the team would respond. And, well, the headliner, no doubt about it, was Lucas Giolito. 6 scoreless innings, struck out 10. And there's a streak going now of 7 straight games where a starter has received a quality start. Red Sox pitching has thrown 18 consecutive scoreless innings. It's back-to-back shutouts versus the Yankees and Mariners with Brian Bayo and Lucas Giolito. Just think about that. Now, I know there's always been high expectations for Giolito, no doubt. Or Bayo, for that matter. Giolito, though, was a guy that signed last year coming off an injury. And he's had his ups and downs. He's had downs, no doubt about it. But you've seen a stretch now of 7 straight 6+ inning starts for the Red Sox rotation. June 9th, Brian Bayo goes 6 1/3. June 10th, Giolito goes 6 innings. June 11th, Walker Buehler goes 7. He goes again tonight. On the 13th, Crochet goes 8 1/3. Besides giving up that home run to Judge, he was outstanding. Hunter Dobbins is giving him another 6 innings. Brian Bayo once again, the other night, 7 innings. And then last night, Lucas Giolito, his 6, plus the 10 strikeouts. I've noticed something. I've been talking about it night after night. But the pitching staff has gone away from changeups, and they're throwing more gas. So, yes, give him the gas, not the ass. It's working. And just to add to that, I almost wonder if there's the veterans that are going away from what Andrew Bailey and Craig Breslow have been preaching. I'm almost wondering if that's on both sides of the field, but we'll get into that in a minute here. But looking at what this pitching staff has done, 7 straight 6-inning outings. The league's best ERA, 1.35. Over 46 in 2/3 innings over that span. And I'll get into their bullpen, too, which has been absolutely outstanding. A top 5 bullpen in Major League Baseball. Forget about the last 6 or the streak. They've been outstanding. So, are the changes to the pitching staff Andrew Bailey? And I'm going to say no. I think these guys are sticking with their stuff and what they know, and I think it's easier to get fastballs by pitchers these days. I read a report today that hitters, more than ever, their average is higher now on off-speed pitches than ever before. So why preach the off-speed pitch? I think the veterans have made the decision to go after hitters and throw more fastballs. Now, again, Crochet, when you want to call him a veteran, and he's still, again, it was a start before where he threw 3 straight strikeouts on backdoor sliders or cutters or whatever. Now, Dobbins throws the ball around the plate. I'm not saying they're completely going away from changeups and off-speed stuff, but I think it's more fastballs than anything. I don't credit Bailey for that. I don't credit Breslow for that. I think that's a personal decision from the players, and Cora is on board. And we'll get into the match between Breslow and Cora and the players and the team and the owner and all that in just a little bit. But just a week ago, manager Alex Cora said, I really expect more. I expected more from the pitching staff. They've responded. But the names that I gave you, Giolito, Buehler, those two guys, Dobbins has been solid, and Bayo's improving. Crochet is what he is, best pitcher in baseball right now. But those two veterans, almost going rogue, that's what I think. That's my opinion. I think they've gone rogue. I think they're like, screw whatever they're trying to teach us. And I think Cora says, do what you got to do. I mean, there was talks a week or two ago about trading Walker Buehler and how teams would want him. I read articles from The Athletic and et cetera about Walker Buehler would be a great midseason acquisition. There was talks about DFA Lucas Giolito. Now, look at them. Confident, throwing more fastballs, demeanor on the mound. They're almost leaders for guys like Brian Bayo, with Crochet continuing to do what he's doing and mixing Dobbins in. Who knows what Tanner Houck does when he comes back. But I think the pitching staff has gone away from changeups. I don't think it's a product of Bailey whatsoever. So pitching's been outstanding. How about Roman Anthony? First home run of his career. And he did the feed me more reaction after the homer, which I loved. They manufactured runs over the weekend. They bunted. They're winning close games. I'm not sure how much they can continue to score 2 runs a night and win. I'm not sure. But if their pitching and their defense, by the way, continues to play the way that they're playing over the last week, they're going to compete for a playoff spot. And by the way, last night's win landed the Sox as one of the current 3 teams who'd be eligible for a wild card spot. They're a half game up on the Twins and the Mariners. The Red Sox have won 9 of their last 11 games. They've won 6 in a row. They can clinch 4 consecutive series wins tonight. They made the Rafael Devers trade during this time. I am curious to see how Buehler pitches tonight. Can he continue this run of veteran pitchers playing well? I still think the Red Sox are good. I think at nights they're going to struggle to score. Last night, 2 runs. They got to score more. I saw that Christian Campbell's out of the lineup tonight. And Wilyer Abreu says he's going to be back soon as well. Says he's pretty much ready to go. But embarking on a 9-game road trip, having Rafael Devers come off the plane, and to everything that happened, and the veteran leaders saying we don't need an explanation from our staff, kind of showed some leadership. What the pitchers are doing on the mound is showing leadership. Maybe this was a culture move. It was sure as hell a culture move, getting Rafael Devers out of that clubhouse. I still don't think it's a win of a deal by any means. But I do think there's been some Cora versus Breslow stuff. And Alex Cora had a line today that almost blew me away. And it's regarding the push-pull that I'm mentioning. He said today, I'm going to be very clear. We cannot question the front office. And this was regarding the decision to trade Rafael Devers. We cannot question the front office. Breslow's got the ear of the owner, everybody. Breslow made the move, but got it signed off by the owner. Alex Cora's here. He's getting paid. They're playing better under his watch. This credit I give to Cora and company. I don't give it to Breslow and their philosophy. Hell no. But Cora's made it clear. Maybe he's been put on notice. They cannot question the front office. Your thoughts on that at 617-779-0985. I do want to get into Breslow. Maybe I will react a little bit to the horrible press conference that I sat through for 43 minutes straight here last night and got zero answered. Nothing. It was horrible. I hate when smart guys talk with big words and don't make any sense. Because that's what it was last night. Also, Rafael Devers spoke to the media today. He was introduced to the San Francisco Giants, and wait till you hear some of that stuff. So we'll leave it there. Feel free to join the show once again. We're here till 8 o'clock tonight. Then we hand things over to the Stanley Cup Final Game 6. Panthers with a chance to close it out. Do want to get into Breslow, his comments, some other things he reacted today as well. More on the Sox and on Devers as we're here until 8 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
trade?
Well, I'll start, Dan. Appreciate the question. This was a baseball trade because we did what we felt was in the best interest of the Red Sox on and off the field to win championships and to continue to ferociously and relentlessly pursue a culture that we want everyone in that clubhouse to embody. And doing everything in their power, night in and night out, to help the team. So yeah, it was a baseball trade without question.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports. I'm Joe Murray. Red Sox still want to continue to tell you that this was a baseball trade. Nothing to do with the money whatsoever. Here till 8 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray. That was Sam Kennedy being asked by Dan Shaughnessy. Was this a baseball move? And was it about being a move for the field and not about the money and whatever. I don't buy it. I also don't buy that the pitching staff of late has been using the pitch velocity and all those things that they put into place for their pitchers this year, and more change-ups. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. So, in the previous 65 games this year, let's look at the last 9 games, okay? But the first 65 games, the starters went 14-20 this year. They were 16th in innings pitched. Their ERA was 25th in the league. Opponent's batting average was 27th. Like, the starting pitching hasn't been good. But outside of Crochet, it hasn't been good. But the last 9 games alone, the Red Sox, their starters are 7-0. The starters. No other rotation during this run has more than 4 wins. They're number 1 in innings, 57. Number 1. In ERA, they're 4th with 2.34. Hitters batting average right now, last 9 games for starters, 2nd. It was horrible. They were literally 25th in Major League Baseball. But now they're on a run, which is number 1 in the league. Something's changed. You can't tell me it's Andrew Bailey. You can't tell me it's Craig Breslow and what they put into place. And really, this has been going on before the Rafael Devers stuff. So I put that on the veterans, and I put that on leadership, and I put that on Cora. I do. So I want to give them the credit for that. But when it does come to Craig Breslow, article from June Lee, we may have mentioned it last night, but mentioned that the front office has been losing cohesion under the leadership of Craig Breslow. He cited multiple sources describing Breslow as becoming increasingly insulated and shutting out staffers who helped build 4 championship teams, because they bragged about that yesterday, if you remember. While turning to sports consulting firm Sportsology to streamline baseball operations in a Wall Street-like move. So he responded to that today, Craig Breslow. If I or this front office became increasingly insulated, that's absolutely not the direction that we're trying to head. What he will say is, over the last year and a half since he got there, he spent quite a bit of time trying to understand the operation, the people, and the way that they're set up. And they've grown significantly in size over the last several years, and maybe removed or detached some of the people that were on the field, and anchoring all of the work that they've done on the field and the wins, losses, etc. It's all critically important to him. He feels like his job has the right balance at the moment. He said that he's contributed meaningful value to the 4 world championship teams under the ownership group. Okay. Went on to say we needed to make sure that we're operating in a way that's going to get the team back into the AL East and top of baseball. So he did not like the insulated. He also said there's never a deliberate decision to insulate or push people away. but rather very intentional effort to preserve all the things that make the Red Sox great and improve the things that needed to be improved upon in the industry. This after we found out that he fired a guy who called him a stiff. Then he got fired. So I wanted to just throw that out there. Also, he just spoke a little while ago, because we're going to let you hear a little bit of the Rafael Devers stuff coming up in a little bit here, but this talking right before the game tonight regarding Rafael Devers' comments, Devers basically said today that he has a willingness to play wherever. And we'll let you hear that. But he was asked about it, and he goes, that's probably not a question I'm capable of answering, as Rafi is. At this point, Rafi's there, we're here, and we have a game to win. So that's how he handled the Devers stuff, and we'll let you hear that coming up in just a little bit. One other thing I just do want to say. Back in January this year, Alex Cora had a quote, and I remember reading it on the air and laughing about it. But he goes, rookies come here to contribute. Rookies don't come here to carry the team. Now you're in June, bro. How do you feel about that one? How do you feel about that? Because to me, I feel like you're going to have to lean on these rookies now to help carry the team. I mean, you got a home run last night out of Roman Anthony. So rookies come to contribute. They might have to come here now and carry the team at times, Alex. I wonder if it's taken him a while to get on board with that, but he made it very clear today. You can't question the front office. He also said today, which I thought was kind of interesting, that this has been in the works for a while with Devers, or at least it ramped up a little bit more this week. So I thought that was fairly interesting as well. 617-779-0985. Let's start with Dean. He's in Shrewsbury. Hey, Dean.
Two things real quick. I like the Devers deal. I think getting rid of the money does give us flexibility at the trade deadline. The biggest part, though, is getting the 13th prospect from last year's draft. That either gives us a good player for the future or capital to go out and get something. And I'm asking for a little advice, Joe. My girlfriend Alyssa and I are going to the Cheesecake Factory soon. She wants to get mango cheesecake. I wanted to know what I should get for cheesecake there.
Adam's Peanut Butter Fudge Cup.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I'll try it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even need to think about it. You got to get those macaroni balls, too, and the Buffalo Blast.
Okay, I'll remember that. Macaroni balls and Buffalo Blast.
Oh, yeah, and the Adams Peanut Butter Fudge Cup brownie sundae, or cheesecake.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, you know what, Cash? You want to go on a nice night with the wife? You know? Cheesecake Factory. That's an easy one, right? Just remember, my word of advice, take the cheesecake to go. We got John on the line. What's up, John?
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Thanks for taking the call. I'm a big fan, and I loved what you said yesterday about Smithers. That was pretty funny. But I was actually wondering, I don't understand why everyone's comparing Devers to, like, the top 5 great players. He's about 5 home runs away from his final numbers statistically from really being a marginal player, in that conversation. So, help me understand that conversation. Why is the media, leaning on that way? No. He doesn't pass the eye test. He's completely gotten back out of shape. I just don't get it.
Well, real quick, John, to you, that's what you think. And, he wasn't a polarizing star that you're used to here in Boston, right?
Yeah.
But he's just not. And to your point about the eye test, it was more like the sniff test for you, I think. But no, not for nothing, dude, but he was, right behind Ted Williams and Jim Rice for home runs before the age of 29. So, I mean, that's a Hall of Fame pace, bro.
I don't know.
See, it doesn't pass. It's fact. It's fact, but it doesn't pass the sniff test.
But what has he done recently? And he's basically going backwards.
Well, I disagree with that because he hit 400 for the month of May.
Okay, but that's, we still have a whole season, and when has he ever hit even close to 300?
Well, 280 is pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah, it's okay, but is it? Are we talking Manny Ramirez here, which everyone seems to be talking about? He can't lick the boots of Manny Ramirez, but everyone keeps saying it.
But see, that's your opinion. It's not passing the sniff test for you. The numbers show he's pacing.
Manny played the outfield,
bro.
He played every day. He was a little bit of a pain, but
you're
wasn't
comparing this guy to Manny Ramirez.
Well, that's
unfair.
The well,
how about Adrian Beltre? How about Adrian Beltre?
The media is acting like this guy. He's comparable.
He's
to
the
Manny
best
Ramirez.
player on the team, dude.
That's not saying much,
dude. That's not saying much.
Not right now.
So he didn't help win a World Series.
I'm sure he helped,
What?
That does not put him in the conversation of being deserving of a $300 million contract with 7 years left.
Bro, nobody. I don't feel bad for anybody who makes $300 million. See, you can't buy it. You don't think the guy's good.
No.
So you're fine with the trade. You're fine with the trade.
I don't think he's great. He's good, not great. And everyone's calling him great. And I don't understand how that is.
Listen,
especially his performance as of late.
John, you're probably right. He's no Manny Ramirez. Okay? But did they give away Betts, Bogarts, and Evers?
And Betts crushed me. Bogarts was sad to see him go, but this one made sense, and this one fit. It fits where they're at. It fits, what I've been seeing from him. Every time I turned on the TV, he was making an error. He wasn't doing what they were asking for him to do, what they needed the team to do, and nobody is speaking up for him on his behalf since he's left. No one's come to his defense on the team. None of the players.
You're right.
Doesn't that say something?
I think it does say something. John, I'm not saying you're wrong, just the guy was good.
He was good. I'm not saying he wasn't good. But in today's conference with San Fran, give me a break. No one wants to play in San Fran. The place is becoming a dump.
Barry Bonds came out with him today, all right? So don't tell me, it's another bum coming through. So now he wasn't that good. Skaz. He wasn't that good, Skaz. He wasn't that good.
I believe that's called coping, Joe.
Could lick the boots of Manny Ramirez, Again, Manny Ramirez, how many? 500? How many did Manny hit? Should I even look it up? I believe Devers. This is just mind's eye right now. Spitballing, riffing. Does Devers have like 215 to 20 home runs? So he's got 8 years left, right? So if he continues to do that pace, that would be 500 home runs, correct? 450 home runs? That to me is good. That to me is now Hall of Fame worthy. That's good. Ron is in Waltham. Hey, Ron.
Yeah, Joe. I don't think this is a Craig Breslow. Like this all just comes back to the same old thing. It's John Henry. This dude is just so tight with the purse strings, and every single time, like you can make the case that Devers should have been traded, shouldn't have been traded, whatever. But the reality is, the return that he got is because John Henry's not willing to spend the money. And if you're going to be an owner of a big market team like the Red Sox, you have to spend or get out. It's time for him to sell the team. And honestly, the fact that like all the fans, we just continue to pad his pockets by showing up and putting $20 into beer and $20 into food and $100 into parking. It's just crazy. Like he makes money hand on fist from the fan base, and he's just not willing to reinvest it in the team. It's pathetic. He's a bum, and he's got to go.
Okay. I have no comment, besides the fact that you all do keep going to the park. You all love to go to Fenway and sing Sweet Caroline and buy your shirts and your merch and all that stuff. So you're going to keep going, and he doesn't care. And clearly doesn't care how you feel. That is true. Mike is in the car. Mike.
Hey, Joe. I was listening to Across the Street earlier when I was doing a spot with them, and he said that he was at training camp for the Red Sox early, and he talked to Rafael Devers about the possibility of Bregman going to the team early on in spring training. But I don't ever remember that being reported, and that just, to me, it says that it was Rafi was against it way earlier, and the team knew that this was going to end up happening. They could have shopped it better. They could have done more with it.
Yeah,
so
Mike.
I'm going to hang up and listen.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. The reporting that I thought was good was from is it Mike Rodriguez of ESPN Deportes? He quoted saying that this conversation did start around spring training, and it ramped up a little bit when John Henry went out there, but he wasn't demanding a trade. He just said, if you don't value me, kindly trade me. And I think they explored it. And it sounds like for weeks they talked to different teams. What made the deal happen was the Giants would take on all the money. And I think it's hard. Red Sox fans are upset because now this is a third player that they've let go when they're a big market team. But realistically, they're trying to reset. So they got out of that contract. Now they have that money to spend. It's still questionable if they do spend it or how they spend it or wherever. But I do understand why they did it. And again, people in the clubhouse aren't too upset about it. At least they won last night. And Core is backing the front office that you can't question them. They're winning baseball games now. I think that's all that matters. But you're right. Are they going to spend money? I don't know. Let's talk to Eric in Bridgewater. Eric.
Hey, Big Joe. How are you?
Hey.
So, listen, I'm a huge fan of you. I've been a huge fan of the station for so many years. And knowing that we've had this news over the last couple of days, this is what I want to tell you about it. As sad as I am to see Rafi go, I still believe in this team. I mean, if you look at the numbers and look at their record, the fact they've gone 10-4 in June when they have been under 500 for much of this season, I will still believe in this team. I still think they will go back to the playoffs. They will get a wild card. I don't think they're talented enough to win the East because of the fact, even though they've gone 5-1 against the Yanks, they've still got to go through them and go through everybody else. But I am backing the rookies. I'm backing Anthony. I am backing Campbell. I am backing Meyer. I believe Core's going to figure it out. I believe that the rotation is on fire. The bullpen is doing great. Chapman's been our ace when it comes to our closer. Everything that's lined up is going to set us up for a great July and a great August. They just have to get to the All-Star break, and they got to get to the deadline. They've got to make a move, and that's all it takes for them to get back to the playoffs. I know that they will figure it out, but I don't believe the front office is going to do anything to help them. It's going to be on Cora because, let's be honest, it's his team. He's the one in control, not Breslow, not Henry, not Kennedy. It's the players on the field that put the asses in the seats.
I agree with that. Well, they spend the money. That guy was from Bridgewater, Skaz. He's very confident in the young group. Is that how it is out in your way? Everyone's really confident in the young guys?
I can't speak to everyone in that area, Joe.
I know. He was very confident. I believe in this group. I believe. Oh, this one's good. Joey's in Taunton, another area of Skaz's. Hi, Joey.
And love the show. Love you guys, Joe. Just wanted to say my ears perked up like when I heard Manny Ramirez. That's my favorite player, always will be. But Manny, I mean, you can't even talk. He's not in the same conversation as Devers. Like he couldn't lick his boots, as the man said. But
yeah, I didn't. But just so you know, I never said that. I just
okay.
Think that
well, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
That guy said he's no Manny Ramirez, and I said we're comparing Devers to a guy who hit 500 home runs.
Yeah, all right. Right. Okay, so let's. I'm glad we're clear on that.
But another 8 years, he's got 215 home runs. If he does consistently what he does,
when you look at Devers' stats, what jumps out at me, he has a good year and then he tails off.
Yeah,
he has a good year and he tails off.
Yeah, it's like me with weight, Joey. It's like me, Some I'm low some years, I'm high the next. It's what happens when you battle weight problems. All right, we got to get to the break. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Red Sox in action tonight against the Mariners. They got Walker Buehler on the mound tonight. Rafael Devers was introduced at a press conference today for the Giants. Said he'll play anywhere they want.
Do you feel like you are best at a particular position?
No, como lo dije anteriormente, estoy dispuesto a donde me pongan, dar lo mejor de mí.
Like I said before, I am here to play wherever they want me to do and give out my best.
Well, Rafael Devers was introduced to the Giants today. He said he's ready to play wherever the Giants need him. He was taking ground balls at first base. I am now further convinced, that Rafael Devers was taking ground balls at shortstop to piss off the front office. That's my take. So, we just had a caller that said Rafael Devers couldn't lick the boots of Manny Ramirez. I also mentioned that Barry Bonds was there when Rafael Devers came to the, because I think David Ortiz said that he tried to talk to Devers and embrace the position, but he didn't take his calls. So, does he have Barry Bonds' number? I don't know. Is he going to, But hey, we've heard from Manny Ramirez. Skaz, why don't you? It just happened. Literally, we manifested this. So here is Manny Ramirez on Rafael Devers.
So we were kind of talking about this a little bit. I didn't get the full opinion, but I got to ask you. What's the deal with Rafi? What's going on? What happened to my guy in Boston?
Come on, Boston. Why you did my guy like that? You don't treat the face of the team like that. Actually, you're not only the respecting Devers, you the respecting the whole fan base.
That's how I feel disrespected, Manny.
That's it. You have to. I don't care if you pay me $300 or $400 million. You need to communicate with me. I'm gonna put it this way: it's like you telling Aaron Judge next year, as soon as he get to spring training, hey, I want you to be a catcher. How he's gonna respond?
Aaron Judge moved to catcher, huh? Manny Ramirez, come on, Boston. Why did you do my guy like that? You don't treat the face of the team like that. Skaz, that was Manny Ramirez. Was that with Jared?
That was with Jared, yes.
At the MLB Draft Combine.
I believe so. That is correct. Manny Ramirez, a guy known for his leadership.
Great leader. Why'd he do his guy like that, huh? So he's defending Devers.
Playing the outfield, playing catcher, very similar to third base to first base. Very similar.
Do you think the Red Sox were trying to get rid of Devers and they did all this in spite?
What do you mean?
Was it calculated? Did they want to bring in Bregman to get rid of Devers? And did they not communicate with him well and then make him look like the fall guy? I know, I hyperbolic, Skaz, but hey, listen, I get an hour a night. I get an hour before a game? Could it have been calculated?
I think you're giving him too much credit.
I am. You're damn right.
Especially, from what we've seen over the last, 48 hours-ish. I think you're giving them too much credit to have that evil mastermind of a plan. I'm not sure they're quite capable of that over there at Fenway. I think this was just a mistake, Joe, and they screwed it up. Whether it was, Cora not, letting Breslow know that it would be a problem because he's the guy that's going to be around the players and should know Devers well enough and should obviously know Bregman well enough that they could handle the situation. Obviously, they couldn't. I think it was just a mistake, and they kind of, were looking for somebody to offload it on, and San Francisco was the right buyer.
Buyer. They found a buyer. Now they're out, and they can reset. Skaz, we should just pack up the show. Our ratings stink, and this is why we're on at nights, because we stink. And that's what people are trolling me about right now. Because Manny Ramirez Rafael Devers can't lick the boots of Manny Ramirez.
Well, you got hockey in 9 minutes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
All right. Well, hey, how about that? This hour of the Sports Hub, because, they do sponsor our show, is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com to save 15% off an extra oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. We'll wrap this thing up, and something happened a year ago today. Happy 617, everybody, on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
be or what might be. Now it just is. The 2024 Boston Celtics are one of the greatest teams in NBA history. They were told they had to win. There's only one thing you can do when expectations are that high. Meet them. And there's only one way to stop being haunted by the ghosts and the legends and the champions atop this building. Join them. Together they have, and together they stand alone on top of the mountain for now. And once again, the Boston Celtics stand alone for all time. It is banner 18. The mission demanded is mission accomplished.
Well, for one more night, the Boston Celtics are still the reigning champions of the NBA. For one more night. And it happened a year ago tonight, everybody. I was at the Garden. We got the SWAT team, wouldn't let us leave. It was fun. They won the championship a year ago today, everybody. Also, Brad Marchand's looking for his second ring. This should be a great night tonight. Joe, you get the final word. Hey, Joe, you got 30 seconds.
Hey, this is Joe, friends with Street Team Joe, longtime Yankee fan. First of all, I just want to say thank you for getting rid of Devers. I'm kind of at a loss for which angle I want to approach this from. Like, your front office, why did you sign him just to trade him? Why did you sign him for 3 years?
I don't know.